Welcome back to Timberborn and the waterfalls playthrough. So after the debacle debacle I had in the last playthrough with let's say a shaky a shaky misbuild. As we can see here, I'm still pumping out the bad water. The bad water did go down the channel. But unfortunately, I left this here, which I didn't. I mean, look how deep that is. It just spilled over, and so obviously that was a bit of an issue, shall we say? But we've we're still in this. I think we're still in this drought, obviously. So we're building this new system here that should hopefully protect us for next time. So let's get into it. And we've only got like close below contamination 1%. So when these come good water, this will close. The idea of this is to shove all this down here. We tried to finish off. I don't think. Oh yes, they can get to this by going up this ladder. So we've got 5 days left. So we're not doing overly bad. Apart from there's not a lot of water left, so we'll have to unfortunately start taking a bit more of this out. Unfortunately, this is all down. Which yeah. Hopefully for next time, we'll not need to worry too much about this. Once I've, which now I've got it built. What I'm going to do is I was in the process of designing this, and I'll finish off what I'm planning on here. And so I'm going to take this out because it's about halfway. Then we'll build our little. I'll also gonna, as I have got some this, so we'll get this going as well. I don't think I've got any. I have got planks, so that's good. This shouldn't be needed anymore, so there's something like that's going to go as well. So, no more things for you, my friend. It'll be nice to get a couple of lumberjacks, let's say here. Obviously, when I'm going to have to pull them before the bad water hits. Go up there, and then we'll go up there. I think you can two-part. No. Oh, I didn't notice that. So that's now gonna build this. Like I said, we can get rid of this. We don't need this anymore. So that can be taken down. It should be perfectly fine. It shouldn't, obviously, it shouldn't leak anything anymore. I'll put a stop to that. So what's going to happen is good water will come down here and it'll sort of separate in two. That's the idea of it anyway. And that's what I'm going to hopefully achieve in this next 5 days. To get all this in. I could do it I could do with 2 if I wanted to. I've just obviously increased the stuff here. I'm still worried about this bad water overflowing, to be quite frank. So I'm gonna, because we've got this 5 days. It's going to be a bit. I can't really get all that out, can I? Oh, they are taking it out, so that's good. I'll put the first layer in, that I want. Because they can get, obviously, they can get through here to get most of it done. And then the next job is obviously to take this out. In fact, actually, we can preempt this bit here. This doesn't really matter which direction it is. And that's all pretty good. I want this to be built, and I want these to be built. I want to get all this. I might as well get the logs while I'm on it. I will build a storage just up here for the logs. Get that built so they don't have to go that far. I don't want it down there because obviously nothing in range. Yeah, because there's nothing in range because I have set the cutting. So we'll cut this and get rid of this. We can cancel this now. No point having something on there that we don't really want. It should spill out and go down this channel that I've created. It'd be nice to do maybe something with this, some of the other. I don't really know. All this, for some unknown reason, is still for cutting, and I don't know why. So I'm gonna turn all this lot off. It's amazing how much you can forget to turn off with the logs. I've probably had this since I started the game, actually. But right, so that's done. I'm just making sure that I've still got ish water. It's not great, but like I said, for next time we shouldn't have a problem of it being a problem of being a problem, if that makes sense. It makes sense in my mind, but whether it makes sense in your mind, I don't really know. And I can probably get rid of this this little channel, in a sense, this that I made. It was a good idea at the time, but it's basically done nothing. Nothing could cause problems. That can go there. I'll now delete this. I think they can get that from there anyway, so they don't really need my help to do that. It would be nice to get this finished. So we've got 3 days. 3 days is 3 days. It's not too bad. And just like I said, I'm just worried about this hitting this. Although this is quite a large opening that it'll surge. But because I've done a bit more of a larger a larger hole here, I should say, it may just go in and not have a problem. That's why I increased the size of the hole. Because obviously the larger it is, the better it's going to be. Now we're getting them to cut this, so we should be able to get that cut for that amount of time. I'm starting to run out of water here, and I've got 3 days left. That's probably going to be a bit of a problem for water when it comes back. But after we've got all this done, it shouldn't be. Obviously, and I need to get... and I've cut this off. And I don't want to obviously allow that. I think that's potentially a bit bad water. I'm not too sure. Although it looks okay. They are obviously pumping this out, and it is going to take an enormous amount of time to pump, unfortunately. So what do we want to achieve after we've sort of achieved this bit here? I'm gonna do this, because I can do this one, I can do this one. And what would be nice to... I'm not overly sure what we want to actually achieve yet. Obviously, we need to increase the food, so that's another situation that we want to do. And it's trying to irrigate more of the land, which would be, you know, quite nice to do. If this works, I don't particularly need these sluices. The sluices are not actually needed. So that looks as if... I think that looks as if it's actually been done. There's certainly that one that can't do anything. Which now allows me to pick this up. Put this back and this back. It's going to go to good water before we get to bad water. So we should be able to get all this in before everything goes Pete Tong again. Because this is a lot of water source on this map, you know, to be able to do anything. We are definitely getting out of the situation with water here. We may... the trouble is, got all this water here and not a drop to drink, as we say. I'm still not planning on some sort of wind farm here, but obviously until I get all this done... Now we should be... we got 1,000. We just haven't... What? So what the problem is? Isn't the problem of yeah, this has obviously got to it's got to change here, and then what will happen is I'm trying to look for my... Oh, that's the bakery. Where's the grills gone? I'm looking for the grills. I can't see any grills anywhere. That's the thing. If there's no grills, then they're not gonna grill this, are they? Oh, I have got a grill. It's there. Oh, it's turned off. Why is it turned off? That's on, though. That's not on. So we've only really got one grill that's actually grilling the potatoes. So that needs to solve. Now, it has been solved now. I've got 3,000 in logs. It's not as if I have to worry too much about logs. Most of all, this is going to die, which is a bit of an issue. Well, in fact, it's a lot of an issue. Though saying that, though, this is going to stay around. So this is probably not completely bad water. I'm not too sure, actually. We'll see. We'll see what if they're still pumping. They are still pumping, so it probably is bad water then. But it is going down, and it's obviously going into our tank here. This is almost done. Now that's done, I can turn and do a... Like I said, I wanted to hit that and go around. It may want to it may want to hit this bank, you see. That's the thing. So I may have to think about something like that. But we're getting all these logs. That's good. And a lot of this stuff is going in, so I can take this out now. And start the terrain from here. And I should be able to do the terrain from there. I think they can reach that. Yeah, they can reach all of this. So the idea is the bad water will not surge too much. It'll hit this and not go over this, and it'll go down here. It might just instantly go down here, and I might be over-engineered, but we know what happened last time, which was a bit of an issue. I've got 1 day left, and I've got 100 and something water left. I need to make sure that this is on. And this is, well, the food situation is still there, so don't need to worry too much about food. I've got enough food to actually do all this, to last until next time, until, like, there's, like, 100 and something, like, you know, but I've got all this water here, but I'm not actually pumping it because I'm not doing anything with it. Which may be something that I can look in as a backup. Although I don't think this is going to be too much of a problem anymore. Once I've got this channel, and obviously I've got this channel here, which I probably want. I'm trying to do think of a better circle, but at least it's not wiped out all this here. Although I'm quite surprised that it's not actually. I think the problem is I don't know how many haulers I've got. Workplace. I'm going to come under workplace. Haulers. 2 in there and 2 in there. 2 in there and 2. Yeah, there's not enough. But unfortunately, there's not enough haulers in our system, which means there's probably not enough beds, which just means there's not enough of everything. So we've now run out of water, so that's an issue. Just died of old age. So they're only dying of old age so far, so they may be okay. I desperately want this water to come down. I'll now speed it up because I can't really do anything. I can't really do anything else now. I was just apologies for slowing that down a bit. I am getting some toxic stuff. It's probably taking the berries out, but at least it's getting rid of everything. That's now going to be almost full again. And we keep going with the food, so it is, well, it is relatively full stocked on other things. They've started building this, so that's good. That's going to be finished before, certainly before this bad tide gets in. I could do something here to sort of make sure that that doesn't. I mean, it's going to hit that anyway, but it's probably going to be all right. I was a bit worried about that though. That side. Well, I suppose that side doesn't matter because that's where the bad water's going. So, but we'll see. We've got almost. We've now got the water coming in, so that's fine. Close below contamination. Close above contamination of 1%. That should be. So that'll close, and that will close below contamination, and that's close above contamination. So at least I've got that set. Yeah. So now we've got. Why aren't we sending this water down? Right, so now I've got the double channel, which will irrigate this back channel, and there we go. I have to set this down to 265. Looks like I saved them to a degree. We still need to pump all this out. Like I said, the water is now going in both places, so we don't have too much going in each individual direction. I think I will just get a couple of cut trees. Oh, well, that is set for cutting the trees anyway. That's fine. Get this built. We don't know how long we have. This is almost out, so that's the end of that one. And that's not been too bad, actually. Where do we potentially put this? I'm trying to see when this gets cut. Where can I could get them to take it down here. And now that is the closest storage. That's going to be quite a lot of logs there. So, well, it's not going to be the the oaks, but it'll do. Let's do to logs. Let's do to that. Get that built. And get all this built. Now they're gonna cut this down. So I'm gonna have to get them to build this pretty sharpish then, because I want this built before they start cutting. So I'm gonna pause the cutters until this is built. That's built, but the other bits are not. Right, water's coming back in. How high is that? That's not too bad. I'm still pumping this bad water out, so until this bad water channel is completely dry, I'm not going to open the sluice. But that's definitely, and I don't think that's going to surge, to be honest. If it's anything like this, it's not really surging. So I think that's been contained. I'm going to take these out. No, I think I can get to them. I might not get rid of that one though, but definitely that, because it'll hit that and move around. How are we doing? We're almost done there. We started to get back to where I really was wanting to get back to. Now, food situation is still not anywhere near it should be, even though I've got an absolute ton of food. I mean, that's a lot of food. There's a lot of food right now, as you can tell here, and it's now getting semi-picked up. I mean, I could do an underwater channel that would go from here right the way through there. That's a possibility. That way, that would allow to irrigate most of this situation. I'm not going to get rid of this sluice yet, but I think this is all coming together really nicely now. And I don't think so. Can this? Yes, it can be built from there. So I'm going to allow that to be built. I've got a couple hundred, and then I'm going to take this out. Well, in fact, I think I can take that out anyway, but I also want this and this to be built. This just makes sure that that does not I probably should have taken that down, but I don't think it's going to be much of a problem. It's going to go down this channel anyway and get into this and then go down here anyway. It can't really go much else, can it? That's my excuse, and that's what I'm sticking to. So I think that's now going to run a bit better. Are we ready? We are ready. Why are we filling this up, I wonder? Did we empty this? We'll see for how much of that log system. In fact, if that's the case, then I'll put another one. It's not as if I haven't got enough logs to actually do it. I'm not sure. Right, that's done. I've got 1,000 in water, so that's increasing. That's good. I'd like to get more spaddock and things like that in here now. I think that's definitely a thing that we can achieve. It'd probably do something quite nice here. Maybe just flatten this out a bit. I certainly could get the aquatic system in here somewhere, which would open up this. I mean, I haven't really got a lot there. But I think it would be quite nice to do it from here. So let's get... I know there's not enough... There's technically not enough beavers, and that's another thing. And my well-being's really low, so that's another thing we're going to achieve in this... certainly in this playthrough. Oh, I could actually do it just from there, couldn't I, really? Get this ladder going in here. That would allow most of all this to be sorted. It probably makes sense now because I can't go up there to delete some of this. Which is obviously going to give me more room for the aquatic centre to put more a spaddock and other sorts of things in there. I don't really need this either. That can go. Just a little clean up before we. One decent thing is if we don't have a path from here, they'll just not. They can't go down. So that's another thing. I'm obviously getting this sorted here. Now we do have these, which actually might not be too bad as a tree farm, but it's how do I get the water around? I could get the water around by doing a couple of tunnels around here and then sending it back into there. That would irrigate this bit of land here. Because that's a lot of... I don't know how much... I haven't done a lot with tunnels, but I have got 38,000. Yeah, I think that's a viable thing. Just to irrigate this land here. I know I could put up some sort of fluid dump and possibly irrigate it quite well, but I'm not too sure. Imagine it's in a couple of levels, isn't it? When we look there, that's quite a... Although the advantage is this is higher than this, so it would go downwards. Let's see what we can do. I'm doing that because then I can, in the bad water, I can actually take this ladder out. Where would I want? I'd say maybe... Nope, that's the wrong one. Yeah. Maybe something like there. And maybe something like there. The only trouble is... No, the only trouble is with this, with that idea, is I can't stop the bad water. Yeah, I didn't think that through. That's going to be the issue. And with that, I'd have to have it blocked off with a sluicing. And the reason why I'd have to have it blocked off in a sluice is then I could control the bad water and say, no, don't put bad water in here, just put good water. Yeah, that's... Yes. That's definitely something I'm going to have to think about now. I'm going to get rid of this, because if I forget that there's a bad water coming, then I may go down there. We still cut these. That's no workers in the district. Why is there no workers in the district? Died of old age, died of old age. So I need, like I said, I need to get the well-being. So let's while we're doing this, concentrate on a bit of better well-being here. So we need to find them when they're actually coming through. I'm going to take this off. And I'm going to take this off. And we're going to do a nice statue. A blank statue. And we're going to do them. That's good. We could also do probably a couple of hedges here would be quite nice. Just to sort of finesse the area, you know. It's always good to have the area they'll appreciate that. We may get up to a bit more. Not overly sure yet, but yeah, we need to get some shrubs in. We've got some bullet in. We've got a beaver statue. We've got no roofs, actually. That's another. So I'm going to take out this. And I'm going to put... Is it that one? Yeah. I want a nice area for where they can actually... I mean, this, you know, a nice area where they can live. And that's another concern. Where can I put that? And we could have it in an area that basically is very difficult. You know, we could blow some of this out and have them here. And then that would... And then... see, there you go. I've got to 16. Look at that. I've just increased that, and it's just blown right up to 16. So that's not too bad. I've got a beaver statue. I ain't got a scarecrow. But I do have some war. I do have paper, though. The scarecrow is always a difficult one to get. Because... it needs paper. But we could have... it there. Is there any other place that I can have a scarecrow? I could have one here. That's another one. Let's have a... let's have a wind gauge there. That's something else. It's just what it is. It's filling them in. They're like this sort of thing. I need to get to this at 17 if I can. That's what I'm looking for. If I get to 17, then we're cooking on gas, as I would say. Right, we've got no more. How much of this can I get rid of? I think I can get rid of quite a lot of that. Is that because there's no room for planks? Apparently there's no room in the inn for planks. Did I put a... logs. Everything is a log down here. Oh, I went to 17 and when I went to 16. Thank you very much. That's nice and kind of you. There we go. Just let's change this to planks. Let's change this to planks. So now we got some place for planks. It should start to pick this up now. Yeah, that didn't take them long to pick that up, did it? I'm gonna get rid of this. I don't quite know why I had that there, but I'm sure I had an idea at the slight time. Oh yeah, we need that to have a path. So I'll put one path in it. I'll put a path to there. I don't probably need this path. Because it can get all the way down there. Probably would have been best to push that back one and then have that come from there. But I suppose it is relatively close here. Right, what do we want to... plant crops. How much a spaddock are we getting? Not really a lot, to be honest. Let's have as much of that as we can. Let's see what he can do on his little Right, this is what I'm worried about. That's not too bad, is it? We've got 4 days. I'll turn these off, but I'll keep one going just as a... oh, it's pushing this back a bit. But that's not too bad. I'm happy with that. That's worked out really well. Got to be a bit careful there, though. But yeah, even in you can tell I was like, oh, I'm worried about this. This is terrible. It's all gonna go Peter. And no, actually, it didn't really do it. But when we get the water back, I think I'll do a channel here, and I'll put a sluice in to let water in only, and then I can do the cutting, or sort of level this out maybe, and then do the I don't know. I'll do something because I think that'd be so we can irrigate this. I know I could do a fluid dump to do it, but it would be nice, I think, to do something better than that. Obviously, this bad water channel is still going to be doing something, which here it's obviously doing flour. We've only got not a lot of bread left, that's for certain. I've still got an absolute load of potatoes. Potatoes. The stock of grilled potatoes is looking fantastic. So I'm happy with that. I don't know whether, it's like I said, I don't know whether I send this bad water to the channel, but the trouble is I'm still going to be using the thing. That's the other concern that I have, is this water is almost gone. Until it's gone, I'm just going to keep pumping and let it sort itself out. I still think, I think my plan is to start leveling this and move the housing to here and have a nice, whoops, don't want that, don't want that, don't want that. That can go, I suppose. Have a nice housing. I'm only going to send it down to this. In fact, actually, that probably wants 2 then, doesn't it? But not to worry. Oh well. Let's delete that then. Go with 2. That would be better, wouldn't it? I've decided on a ladder there. Steps. No, ladder. Something. No, stairs. I can't even remember what they were called. Is that? Yeah, that. Well, I'll decide to get rid of all of that then. Might as well make a big enough area if I can't. Because this area here, I can sort of take out this area and have this completely for the housing. Because it's not irrigated. Now, I could irrigate it, but why bother irrigating it when you can use it for the housing? Move all the housing from up there. I'd like to do something with that as well, but whether I can, I don't know. We've about another 15, 20 minutes left so of our play today. Apologies if these are getting a bit longer than sometimes necessary or whatever, but sometimes it's you know, you get into these things and you don't particularly realise how long something is. I was definitely worried about that, but actually I'd over-engineered it. So that's at least this time the engineering worked, as opposed to last debacle, and I went, what the? I can't still believe that it floods so. But I suppose it is a tighter channel, isn't it? At the end of the day, so. But I can get rid of this now. I don't really need this. I don't really need this now because of how I've got this bad water going in. So I'll sort of delete all of this. and get it to be picked up. And I'll do that with that. I'm not going to be able to pick that up, I don't think. Unless I just take the top off and... oh no, I can get it from there, can't I? So... Because the bad water's gone down here now, I know of no real problems about it. Now there is a... It's actually a slight question I could actually do here. Is if I look at this natural cove just here and here and here that I built, I could blast down there and make a slight depression to be able to hold some water. Obviously it'll get full and then go over there, but that means it's going to irrigate this land. It's not going to touch most of this, but there's no reason why, you know, I can't irrigate it that way. I think that might be a bona fide way of doing some things as well. And sometimes it's trying to use the land. I don't think I need this now. I'm going to turn off this. All the logs, all the paper, and all everything will probably be taken out of here. I shouldn't really need any of this antioxidant anymore, but it did come in handy them few videos ago, for sure. So that's now gone. Let's now strip down this. That's a lot of logs that we can use again. And I think there's a sometime. Oh, I thought there was actually metal in there, but there's no metal. How much are you doing with water? We've been doing okay. I've got half a day, so I'm going to start pumping now. Get pumping going again, and we got full water. That's good. I got full grilled. We're going to have to sort some of this out to be able to do what we want to do. Again, I've got absolutely no flipping room. But we did start sorting out some of this as well. This is where I've got this here. And I don't really particularly want to get any more dirt, I don't think. I'm going to turn the dirt excavator off. I don't think I need it at this precise moment. That water is... It's going to evaporate within the next, well, sort of few days. I don't think I can get any more. That's the thing. I don't... Oh, yes, I may be wrong. It's sort of pumping, but not too much. Don't know whether they're taking all this then. They're doing... Oh, they're taking it all out. Right. Let's increase the variable of this to get this started to taken down. I mean, I've got 200... Got 200 of them. Why is that? That should be a 2. Oh, well, I'll just get rid of it. And then we'll get this done. So that's going to get put in. I need to move these things out of the way so I can get another. Can I? I suppose I don't need to do it. Let's see. I mean, I've got 200. I've got enough metal. Not that I need metal for that one. Just to do another. Now, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll change that to an underground. The problem is some of this is going to be in the way. This is going to be definitely in the way of what I'm trying to achieve. I will have this for planks. because then I can take this out. I need a place to put the metal. That was technically for... That goes there. That's going to be that. I may have another one of these and then maybe put it for this. But then these could get built whenever they get built. Because I need to start thinking about... I've got no storage... Well, I've got storage over here, but I've got no real design pattern, I would say. I also want to get the grist mill, which is obviously for the flour and things, which is this. And there's only one grist mill, I think, in the entire game that I've got. Now we have got paper going as well. Why have I got paper going? What was that? I don't particularly need paper going. I've still got back down to 14, and I don't know why. I wasn't higher than that. Campfires. Not enough campfires. Like I said, I think we're going to need a quite large area to explore, really. But we are still putting the thing on there, but it doesn't feel as if it's doing much. Oh, it's doing it at the back end. That's why I couldn't see anything. I think now I'm perfectly fine to start excavating this out. I think I'm gonna, if I'm gonna do a decent size, I think I might take most of this out. I also need to excavate that out, which means I can basically get most of this area emptied. I've got 600 in metal though. That's ridiculous. And I've got no real place to put the blooming thing. I could expand that. And then what I could do is I could dig the metal up here and then get it out the way to be able to flatten all this land out to be able to do me housing somewhere in here. But it's going to need a huge bit, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to think of, like, what do I want in the centre? So do I want, like, say, 4 campfires, and then start building out some nice housing from there with roofs and lanes and this and that and whatever else, because it needs to be a nice area, and then get them to go from here into there, and then that'd be quite nice, because we could have some nice lane channels and put some roofs on, like we can use like these, and then there is a flatter one somewhere, which is this one here, which actually could have the other part of the roof on. So there is that. In fact, I don't know why I don't ever use that, you know. I suppose because it's... Oh, because it's wider, isn't it? It's a 3 wide and not a thing. But we'll get there with that. That's now been laid. I do find that really satisfying. I don't know why. I don't know why I find exploding things very satisfying. We need to sort of get some woodcutters and cut some of this wood down, don't we? Get them in there. Because I might as well have the wood if I'm gonna. I'm gonna have to explode it anyway. So if I'm gonna have to explode it, I might as well rip out the trees and everything that's all that's gone, because they're all gone anyway, and get that done. I can. This is a this is gonna have to be a 3 anyway, isn't it? So that's a 3. That's a 3. 3, 3, 3. Can't take too much of this down. I've got 170 left. I'm not going to start that until they've... I need more builders as well, so I need more everything, to be honest with you. But it's definitely taking shape. The ideas are there, the things are there, everything is there in place. So we get 20 gears. Let's just get this going. I won't think of that going. I've got 4 builders in there. I've got 4 in there. Yeah, I've got... Oh, where's that one then? Where's that one? Oh, yeah, I've got there. Yeah, so I've got 12. I mean, that's not a massive amount, but it's doable. It's doing what it needs to do. I need to get this built, like I said. Get that out of the way. I've got 3,000 logs, and I've got a ton of water. I'm sort of thinking that if I decrease this, I only need... it gives me 1 back. How are we doing with this? We're doing pretty well with what we've got there. I could relatively change that to be on that bank, maybe. I don't know. Maybe that's something to consider. Like I said, I want to get a wind farm here because I'm going to need this to be run. It's all taking... Everything's now sort of... I've finally got the plan. The plan is the plan. I'm also going to rip up all of this. If I'd actually selected the right one. Rip all of this up. Rip most of this up because you can't actually get to that anyway. That's only reaching there, but that can reach there. So I can get rid of this as well. That can go. I want to create as much area here as if I'm going to have the housing as a relatively square block of things and stuff. We will definitely get this enabled and get them to pull this in. I know I said I wasn't going to increase this, but I want to get it in, so I'm going to get some underground storage. I'm going to get rid of these because these don't seem to be any use and never getting built anyway. In fact, that's a 2. I'm going to explode that by doing that as well. That's another thing. I've got enough explosives, so things are in this in the waterfalls are actually now, you know, it's only taken me all this time to actually get anywhere. But anyway, we'll leave it here. So we've got our bad water going. That's brilliant. I'm taking all this infrastructure because I don't need it anymore. We're going to move and going to sort all this out for housing. Then we're obviously going to move the housing. We're going to need some sort of... If I'm going to use this, let's say, for irrigation or something, I can't get the water in there. Or I could do a single channel right the way around this. to come back out there, that would irrigate the back. I think it would irrigate, but on the most of the back anyway. So anyway, there's a lot to do still in this waterfalls. And obviously with the situation now, I've got a sort of plan. I've planned everything out. I'm glad that thing works. I tell you, it was a nightmare. And we'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye for now.